You may feel like you've been in a season of silence, where prayers echo back unanswered, and you start to wonder if I'm still listening. But I've never stopped hearing you. Silence isn't absence. Sometimes it's protection. Sometimes it's preparation. I haven't been punishing you. I've been positioning you. There are things I've kept hidden from you, not because I want to frustrate you, but because I'm preparing something far better than what you would have settled for. Trust that I'm not a God of halfway answers or broken promises. If I said I would do it, I will. But I will also do it in the right time, in the right way, for the right reasons. I know how easy it is to look at your life and only see what's missing. The delays, the disappointments, the doors that didn't open. You begin to wonder if you're the problem. Let me silence that lie right now. You're not the problem. You're in process. And there is purpose even in what you don't understand yet. I haven't withheld anything from you out of punishment. I'm a father, a good one. And sometimes the greatest gifts are the ones I prepare in secret before revealing them. So your heart is ready to carry the weight of the blessing. Can I ask you something? What if you trusted me again? Not just in theory, not just on Sundays, but in the quiet spaces of your life where fear tries to take root. What if you let me rewrite the narrative you've believed? That you're always one step behind, always missing something, always trying to prove your worth. Because you don't have to prove anything to me. You already belong. You're already seen, already chosen, already loved. If you could see yourself through my eyes, you'd stop trying to earn what I've already given freely. There's so much more ahead of you than you can see right now. That's not just a feel-good phrase. It's truth. I planted dreams in your heart that haven't died, even if you bury them. I gave you visions that still breathe beneath the surface. And I haven't forgotten. If I placed it in you, I will bring it forth. But you must begin again, not by striving, but by trusting. Not by chasing, but by resting in me. That's where the shift begins. Not in your effort, but in your surrender. So here's my invitation. Come closer. Not later, now. Not when you feel more spiritual or more disciplined. Come out as you are. You don't have to impress me. I'm not moved by your performance. I'm moved by your presence. Talk to me like you used to, when you were young and unafraid to believe. Let me remind you of who you really are. Let me heal what others damaged. Let me rebuild the places that life tried to tear down. I am still the same God who spoke light into the darkness, and I am still speaking life into yours. You don't have to walk this road alone anymore. You never truly did, but I know it felt like that. And I'm not angry with you for the times you doubted me. I understand the weight of your pain. I felt every ounce of it with you, but now I want to lift it. Let me lay it down. You've carried it long enough. All I ask is that you take one step today, one step toward me, one prayer, one whisper, one moment of surrender. I can take it from there. I can do more with your little yes than you could ever do with your biggest plans. Because where your strength ends, mine begins. And I never fail. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for permission to enter, to restore, to move freely in your life. Will you let me? You didn't come this far by accident. And I didn't bring you this far to leave you now. There's more, so much more. And if you'll just walk with me, you'll see it unfold beautifully, intentionally, miraculously. Not all at once, but moment by moment as I lead you deeper into your destiny. There is a deep reason why your heart has been restless, why you've been caught in cycles of searching, rising, falling, and striving again. It's not weakness. It's not failure. It's the ache of your spirit trying to find its place again in me. This world, with all its noise and demands, has pulled you in 1,000 directions. You've given your energy to people who didn't see your worth, to systems that never fed your soul, to dreams that weren't born in my heart for you. And now your soul is weary, not because you are lost, but because you've been disconnected from the source of life itself. The spiritual battle around you is real. You felt it even when you couldn't name it. The anxiety that hits without warning, the sudden fear of the future, the weight you can't explain even when life looks fine on the outside. It isn't just emotional exhaustion, it's spiritual warfare. The enemy has been working overtime to convince you that you are alone, that you are insignificant, that you've already missed your moment. He whispers lies that sound like your own thoughts. You're not enough. You're too late. You'll never change. God doesn't care. But I do care. And I'm telling you now, none of those voices speak for me. When I speak over you, it's life. It's truth. It's purpose. And the reason you've been feeling this tension is because I'm awakening your spirit again. You're not crazy. You're not overthinking. You are discerning the shift that's happening in the unseen. Something inside you knows that you were made for more than this survival mode. Something in you is crying out, there has to be more than this. And there is more. There is depth. There is healing. There is clarity. But it begins in the spirit. You've tried to fix spiritual problems with physical solutions. You've filled your calendar to outrun the silence. You've poured into others to feel useful. You've kept yourself busy to avoid the ache. But the wound is not on the surface, it's in the soul. And only I can heal that place. I didn't just come to comfort your emotions. I came to restore your spirit, to break the chains you can't even see, to silence the voices that aren't yours, and to reestablish your identity in truth. You don't need another distraction. You need a divine interruption. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm interrupting the lies. I'm interrupting the fear. I'm interrupting the confusion that has settled in your mind like fog. You've been trying to move forward, but something always pulls you back. That's because the root wasn't dealt with. But I don't deal with symptoms. I deal with the source. And right now I'm going deeper. I'm touching places that haven't been opened in a long time. Places of grief, of regret, of loneliness that you learned to hide even from yourself. I don't expose to shame you. I reveal so I can heal. I illuminate so I can restore. You were never meant to carry all of this alone. You were never meant to figure it all out without me. That was never the design. You were created to walk with me, breathe with me, move through life connected to the divine power that formed you. And when you live apart from that, you survive, but you don't thrive. You cope, but you don't truly live. And I didn't send my son so you could just cope. I came to give life, and life more abundantly. So if you've been feeling like something is off, something is missing, that's not a sign of failure. It's a signal from heaven. It's your spirit awakening again. It's me knocking at the door of your heart, saying, let me back in. Let me lead. Let me heal what you stopped talking about. You don't have to pretend anymore. I don't need you to be polished. I need you to be present. This world has lied to you. It told you that your worth is in your performance, your appearance, your success, your relationships. And every time something didn't go right, it made you question who you are. But listen to me. You're not your pain. You're not your failure. You're not your fear. You are my beloved, my child, my creation. You were formed with intention, set apart with purpose, and marked by my spirit. The enemy knows this. That's why he's fought you so hard. But what he meant for harm, I am turning for good. Even now, I'm stirring things in your heart that you thought were long gone. Dreams you shelved, prayers you stopped praying, hopes you gave up on. That wasn't the end. It was just a pause. And now I'm breathing life into them again. I'm removing the residue of doubt, the bitterness of delay, the heaviness of disappointment. Because this next season isn't about just surviving the past. It's about stepping boldly into your calling. You're not spiritually dead. You're awakening. What you're feeling is a holy disruption, a divine call back to the source of life. I'm not asking you to be perfect. I'm asking you to be real. Bring me your pain, your questions, your fear. I can handle it. I want to. I love you that much, more than you've ever imagined. Let me show you who you are again. Let me bring peace to your inner storm. Let me remind you that this journey isn't random. It's sacred. You didn't come this far by accident. I've been leading you, even when it didn't feel like it. Even when you doubted it, I was there, and I still am. Let me reveal something to you that has been unfolding quietly beneath the surface of what you could see. While you've been waiting, wondering, even questioning if anything was happening, heaven has been moving. I've not been still. I've not been passive. I've been orchestrating details, aligning people, preparing moments, and shaping you from the inside out. This season has not been a pause. It has been a preparation. And now I am beginning to reveal what I promised, slowly at first, like the rising of the sun after a long night, but unmistakably, faithfully, divinely. The promises I made over your life still stand. Not one word I spoke has been erased, and not one plan I've designed has been discarded. You may have let go, but I haven't. You may have stopped praying, but I've never stopped working. The vision I gave you wasn't a mistake. The desire I planted in your heart, it wasn't your imagination. I gave you glimpses so you would know what's possible with me. And I never tease you with hope. I lead you with it. And that hope is coming alive again. You've asked for signs, small confirmations that I'm still with you, still working, still leading. Some of those signs are already around you, but your eyes have been clouded by fatigue and fear. But I'm clearing your vision. I'm opening your spiritual eyes to see the evidence of my hand again. Watch closely. I'll confirm my word to you through unexpected people, through a word spoken at the right moment, through open doors you didn't even knock on. You will start to feel alignment in your spirit before you see it in the natural. That's how I work. I whisper peace before I release the breakthrough. Do you remember how many times you felt like giving up, but something inside told you to hold on just a little longer? That was me. Every time you almost quit, I strengthened you. Every time you sat in silence, feeling forgotten, I was writing a new chapter. And now those pages are turning. The story is shifting. And my promises are beginning to bloom, just as I said they would. Some of what is coming won't look like what you expected. It will be better. You thought I was delaying what you asked for, but I was upgrading it. You were praying for survival, but I'm bringing restoration. You were asking for a way out, but I've been creating a way through. I'm not just answering your prayer. I'm exceeding it. Because I am a God of abundance, not scarcity. I don't just give enough. I give more than enough, not just to bless you, but to overflow through you to others. I want you to begin watching for the signs of my hand again. Begin expecting me in the ordinary, in conversations, in moments of stillness, in the quiet nudges of your heart. That idea that won't let you go. That dream that keeps rising to the surface. That sense of peace that suddenly rests on you when you're not even sure why. Those are signs. Those are the language of my spirit within you. You don't have to chase wild signs in the sky. I'm not hiding. I'm revealing, and I speak in ways that your soul will recognize. I also want you to notice how your heart is changing. That is one of the greatest signs of my presence. The shift that happens on the inside before anything changes outside. You're beginning to feel more alive again. Hope is no longer something distant. It's returning like breath to your lungs. And where there is hope, faith follows. And where there is faith, miracles begin to flow. You may not see everything clearly yet, but you will. One day soon, you'll look back on this exact moment and say, that was the turning point. That was when everything began to change, not because of some dramatic event, but because of the quiet surrender that opened your spirit to me again. That is the place where the miraculous begins, when you stop striving and start trusting. My promises don't expire with your mistakes. They don't disappear with your delays. They are sealed in my heart, and I fulfill them not because you earned them, but because I am faithful. My word does not return empty. If I said I would do it, I will, even if it takes longer than you expected, even if it comes through unfamiliar paths. I am still the same God who parts seas, calms storms, and calls the dead back to life. And I'm still doing those things, sometimes in ways you didn't expect, but always with your good in mind. So lift your eyes again. Don't bow your head in defeat. Watch what I am about to do. There will be signs clear, undeniable signs that I have been with you all along. A restoration of relationships you thought were too far gone. A sudden opportunity you didn't see coming. A deep peace that replaces the panic. A dream resurrected in full color. These are not random moments. These are promises fulfilled. You didn't come this far by accident. And I didn't bring you this far just to let you stay stuck in cycles of questioning. I brought you here to reveal my faithfulness, to show you that I am who I say I am, and you, beloved, are who I say you are, called, chosen, and destined for more than you ever imagined. Now it's time to make this real. You've heard my voice stirring within your soul. You felt the shift beginning. But now, beloved, I want you to walk it out. Faith is not just a feeling. It's a movement of trust. It's the decision to believe even when you can't yet see. It's choosing me again and again, not just in the big moments, but in the quiet, ordinary ones too. You don't need to wait for everything to feel perfect to begin. Begin now. Begin in the middle of your questions. Begin while your hands are still trembling. Faith doesn't erase the storm. It teaches you how to walk on water in the middle of it. You ask me how to move forward, how to align your life with my purpose, how to live the fullness I keep promising. And here's my answer. Come closer every day. Let me into your routines, not just your crisis. Invite me into your mornings before the rush, your nights before the noise, your thoughts before they become worries. Faith begins in the secret places where no one else sees, where the heart becomes honest, where pride is laid down and intimacy is built. You don't need to become someone else before I can use you. I want to use you right now, exactly where you are. You didn't stumble here. I've been walking with you all along, even when you thought you were lost, even when the path beneath your feet felt unsure, and the night seemed to swallow every bit of hope. You were not wandering alone. I was guiding every step, even through the silence. You see, nothing in your life has been random. Nothing you've endured has been overlooked. I saw the tears you didn't speak of. I heard the prayers you whispered through clenched teeth and broken breath. And I want you to hear me now. You didn't come this far by accident. I led you with purpose. You've been carrying a weight, haven't you? The kind that settles deep in the chest and doesn't leave, even when you smile. You've questioned your worth, doubted your direction, and wondered if all the pain has any meaning. You've tried to stay strong for everyone around you, but inside, there's been a quiet cry for clarity, for a sign, for something real. And here I am, not a coincidence, not a fleeting emotion. I am the God who called you by name before you even had one. I am the one who formed you, watched over you in your mother's womb, and who walked beside you through the years when no one else stayed. There are moments in your life that felt like detours, disappointments, or even disasters. You thought, why did this happen? Why did they leave? Why did I fail? But those weren't the end of your story. They were places where I was planting seeds, not building walls. They were moments of divine interruption, where your plans were paused so that my purpose could prevail. Nothing was wasted. Not the heartbreak, not the silence, not even the things you wish you could erase. I've used it all. I'm still using it. You've walked through fire and thought it would consume you. But look, you're still here. You thought the darkness would win. But somehow, light kept creeping in. That somehow was me. Every time your strength gave out, I was the one holding you together. You may not have seen me clearly then, but I was closer than your next breath, anchoring your soul so you wouldn't drown. I know the burden you carry, the fear that maybe you missed it, that maybe it's too late, that maybe you're too far gone or too broken to matter anymore. But I'm telling you now, your story isn't finished. You're not too late. You're right on time, because where you are now is not a dead end. It's the beginning of a deeper journey with me, one where you'll finally see the purpose behind the pain, the beauty beyond the ashes, and the strength that was being built in the silence. You are not forgotten. I haven't overlooked your suffering. I haven't delayed out of cruelty. There's been a reason. There's been a perfect timing being written into every detail. And now, I'm whispering this truth to your soul. You were chosen, not by chance, but by divine design. Everything in your life has been leading you to this moment of awakening, where you begin to see yourself the way I've always seen you, not as a failure, not as forgotten, but as a masterpiece in process. If you're tired, come to me. If you're confused, let me bring clarity. If you're angry, I can take your questions. If you're broken, I'm the one who still heals. I'm not repelled by your mess. I'm moved by your honesty. There's nothing you can say that will make me pull away. I've already seen it all, and I've chosen you anyway. So breathe for a moment. Let my presence surround you. I'm not asking you to figure everything out. I'm asking you to lean into me, even with your doubts, because I have not brought you this far to leave you stranded. What I started in you, I will complete. This isn't just about surviving anymore. It's about stepping into the life you were always meant to live, with freedom, with purpose, with me leading the way. I know how heavy it's been. I know the nights you couldn't sleep and the mornings you wished you didn't have to face. But through every moment, I've been present. And now I want you to know that everything is shifting. The winds are changing, and what's ahead of you is greater than what's behind. You didn't arrive here by chance. You were led hand in hand, step by step. I've been with you, and I still am. This is the beginning of a new chapter, one written by my hand, sealed by my love, and carried by my strength. That ache in your chest? I see it, and I'm about to fill it with peace. The questions you buried? I'm about to answer them in ways you never imagined. The doors that felt forever closed? Watch, some are about to open, and others will fall off their hinges. Not because you forced them, but because I ordained it. Nothing in your story has been accidental. You've been led on purpose for purpose. And I'm just getting started. I see you reading this, wondering if maybe this really is for you. Let me be clear, it is. I'm not speaking in generalities. I'm speaking directly to you. You've been waiting for a word that feels alive, that pierces through the fog you've been walking in. This is that word. I'm not distant. I'm not abstract. I'm closer than your thoughts, closer than your breath. I know exactly where you are, and I have not changed my mind about you, not even once. You might think that you've disappointed me, that somehow your past disqualified you, that I'm waiting for you to get everything together before I can use you or bless you. But hear me, that's not how I operate. I'm not like people. I don't love based on performance. I don't choose based on perfection. I look at the heart, and yours has been crying out for something real, Even when your actions were inconsistent, your soul was reaching for me. I've seen it, I've felt it, and I want you to know I've never left your side.